Hi, this is Christine Pakolik. I'm a certified nutritional practitioner, and I just wanted to take a few minutes today to talk about detox and the nitty-gritties of detox, often what's not talked about. I want to talk about that. It's also, some people call it going through the healing crisis. So when you think about detox, you think about what often, right, a lighter, becoming more energized, clearer thinking, clearer skin, just your body running and working more efficiently, which are all great, and they often are results of detoxing. But what did we go through to get there? So I kind of like to use the analogy of like a tree losing its leaves before the winter, before the regrowth. It's really similar in our bodies. We actually kind of have to experience what's called a die-off before the new can regenerate. And when this happens, that's what's called our personal transformation. And often, sadly, right when a lot of people are at their peak of this, going through this healing crisis, this die-off, that's kind of when they often discontinue their detox and sadly really never get to see that healthier version of themselves, get stuck in old habits and continue to suffer with whatever ailment was troubling them to begin with. So what is a healing crisis? I won't get too much into the science of it, but just to kind of sum up what's going on in your body when you do a detox, it's really an immune system reaction to the toxins being released by large amounts of pathogens dying off or being killed off in our body. And it's when our body can't eliminate them quickly enough that we're actually feeling the symptoms of detox. And these pathogens can be parasites, fungus, viruses, bacteria. And when we're going through this healing crisis, it's, I guess, more scientific name for that is the Herxheimer reaction. And this was made known by Karl Herxheimer of Frankfurt, Germany in the early to mid 1900s. He was a dermatologist who had come across this reaction when he was treating his patients with skin lesions. So this term, Herxheimer reaction, is well studied. It's well recognized in medical circles. It is not confined to the world of natural medicine or supplements. And I just wanted to list a couple of things that are important to know about detox. I'm going to list off some of the general symptoms that you can likely experience. But before I do, just to mention that really these symptoms, what you experience and the severity really depends on the person. It can vary from person to person depending on the amount of toxins or toxic load that they have built up in their body and that they have to release. Therefore, also the length, the duration of your detox can, of this healing crisis, let's say, can last between 2 or 3 days to even up to 2 weeks for people with more severe cases or have a lot more toxins to release. So something to keep in mind. It really does vary from person to person. So some of the symptoms that you can expect that are not uncommon are cold flu-like symptoms, general malaise, maybe headache, joint muscle pain, sore throat, sweating, chills, nausea, and the more severe cases, actually people can experience vomiting or diarrhea or fever. And it's just important that we know that these things are not uncommon and that we, not to be afraid of when that's happening. So when you're experiencing a healing crisis while detoxing, it's common that the symptoms that you're trying to treat, let's say you're a person with joint problems or headaches, they might become exacerbated during that detox time. If they, your symptoms get worse, you might be thinking, what am I doing wrong? What is happening? Actually, that's kind of a welcomed reaction. It's actually expected if you're having success on your detox. Sometimes you can actually have new symptoms appear, and that's also not uncommon. But when symptoms worsen, it is not an indication of failure, okay? So it's just the opposite. It actually indicates when personal transformation is taking place. So this is a good thing. This is a sign of success, that huge breakthrough is about to happen for you. And I just want to encourage you, if you're on your detox or going to start one, that when and if this happens, to just really try to embrace it, as unpleasant as it can feel at the time. If you can mentally see it as a welcomed reaction, embrace it and celebrate those symptoms, you'll actually, I believe you'll actually be able to go through your detox a lot easier and perhaps recover more quickly. So a few more tips I was just going to give just to finish off, 'cause, it's about all I wanted to cover, but just some tips for when you are going through a healing crisis, a detox, is, like I said, first of all, to just embrace and celebrate those, I like to call them symptoms of success. So they're not always pleasant, but just try to embrace them. Rest is so important. I know we all have jobs and we can't just pause our life for an extended period of time, but keeping exercise and extracurricular activities to a minimum. If you still have to go to work, you just rest as much as you can. Try and get a good night's sleep. Keeping the organs of elimination functioning well. So your bowels, your kidney, your lung, skin, lymphatic system. And one thing actually I was going to point out in terms of keeping your lymphatic and skin system, the organs working well, something called a dry skin brush. So I have mine, this is here. It's kind of what they look like. You can find them at your health food store. And it's a dry skin brush because you actually brush the skin of your body, not in the shower, like first thing in the morning is great. And what it does is it just kind of stimulates circulation, open up your pores of your skin, and it's actually going to allow for better elimination via your skin. Your skin is your largest organ in your body, believe it or not. So the skin brush is kind of a cool little tool. Organs of elimination, like I said, bowels, kidney, make sure that that's functioning well on a detox. Also, hydration is so important. Obviously, you're going to be doubling, if not more, your intake of normal intake of water. You can actually add some lemon to your water, which is going to help to alkalinize your body, which is really good. And I think that was pretty much it. Really, the last and biggest tip, if I can give anyone, is don't give up. So if you're going through that peak healing crisis time, just try to embrace it, rest, keep hydrated, and ride it through. And I guarantee you will be so happy that you did. Yeah, I hope that really helped anybody wondering about what we go through on a detox and what's expected, what's normal. So thanks for watching.